everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Erin. Today I wanted to sit down and do a little bit of a project pan video for you guys. And so I've been really working through a lot of stuff in my collection, and I am really wanting to work through some of these products so I can make room for others. Now I am subscribed to both Sephora Play and BoxyCharm, so I get a lot of makeup in every month. I also get a lot of sample size stuff in every month. And so a lot of this is going to be me just working through my samples, but I do have a lot of full size stuff in here too that I really want to try to work through. So if you want to see what products I want to finish up in the next 6 months or so, then keep on watching. So I guess I can start with like the order that I do my face. So I do have a couple moisturizers in here that I want to try to use up. The first one is the Origins Original Skin Matte Moisturizer with Willow Herb. I did pick this up after it was used on me during one of my Sephora makeovers that I ended up getting. I do just have a tiny bit left in here, but this is a more gel-like moisturizer. I really do like it. I think that it almost mattifies my skin too much, and so while I do really enjoy this, it's not something that I'm necessarily going to be repurchasing. I did recently end up getting the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Gel. This is okay. I've been using it a couple times under makeup and not under makeup. I think this one is the same thing where it doesn't give me enough hydration to really, it makes my face still feel tight afterwards, but maybe this is something that I can use like at night, or I don't know how I'm going to use this, but I do want to use it up because I think it is a good moisturizer. Maybe it just isn't going to moisturize my skin underneath my makeup the way that I need it to. Another moisturizer that I have is I got a little sample of the IT Cosmetics Secret Sauce, and this was one of like the 100-point perks through Sephora. I've used this a couple times. I don't think it's necessarily anything that's fabulous. I don't know if I'd end up repurchasing this, but I am gonna go ahead and use this product up. Along the lines of the IT Cosmetics, I do have the little sample of the Bye Bye Under Eye Cream. This one is almost gone. There's just a tiny bit left in the bottom there. So I am going to go ahead, maybe like 2 or 3 more uses and this will be gone. So I do want to go ahead and use this up. Again, I don't think that this is the be all end all of under eye creams. I don't notice any significant difference as far as my under eyes depuffing or the darkness going away. Along those lines, I do also have the Clinique Pep Start. I maybe have 3 or 4 more uses of this, so I'm going to use this one up as well. Again, this is not something that I would necessarily go out and repurchase. I just think that it is a regular eye cream. Moving on from there to more like priming type of products, I still do have this little sample of the Makeup Forever Skin Booster. This is just a little dropper form of a serum. I do like using this on my under eyes. I think that this does a really good job at moisturizing, so it got lost in my collection when I got all these other eye creams in. So I do want to go back to using this underneath my eyes to kind of just soak up a little bit of hydration down there so that my concealers don't look crepey or cakey. Along those lines, I have a lot of primers, y'all. I have a lot of primers. So I'm a little bit of a foundation junkie and I'm a little bit of a primer junkie. So I do want to go ahead and use a lot of these primers up so that I can either make room for more or use up some of the full size ones that I do have in my collection. One primer that surprisingly I enjoy, and I've almost used up this sample size, is the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Complexion Primer. Now this sample did come with a little pump, and I literally have that much left. So maybe like 1 or 2 more uses and this will be gone. I actually am considering repurchasing this one. I didn't think that I would necessarily like this primer, but I think it does a really good job of filling in my pores. It adds a little bit of moisture. It just smooths everything out. My makeup goes on top of this beautifully. So this is actually one of them that I might consider repurchasing. Another one that I'm about halfway done using up is the Stila One Step Primer. This is the really neat one that has the swirls of the green, white, and pink in it. I did buy the sample size of this one to try to see how I like it. and I've used up half of this. I do have a full size of this one already down in my drawers. I think that this does a really good job at not only, you know, it's supposed to skin tone correct and brighten serum. So I think it does a good job at toning down a little bit of my redness and adding brightness, but also I think that this does a really good job of adding just like a little bit of more moisture to my skin. And when I put my makeup on over this, I feel like my makeup just looks better. So I really do enjoy the Stilo One Step Correction Primer. And like I said, I have another one in the wings, but I just want to go ahead and use up this sample size one. I have two of the Becca primers, and this came in a little set, but I have the First Light Primer and the Backlight Primer. I like the First Light Primer a little bit better than the Backlight Primer because the Backlight Primer is that more glowy type product, but I do still enjoy a little bit of glow underneath my skin. I think I'm really trying to get away from more of the like really flat mattifying look, and I want my skin to just look healthy. I think when my skin looks too matte, it ages me, and so I want to just look healthy. I want my skin to look great. So I've been enjoying these, but I just don't reach for them all the time. They get a little bit lost, and so these ones I'm going to move up. What I'm going to end up doing is I've been putting some of these products in a little basket on my desktop, and so that I'm reaching for those instead of having to shuffle through my drawers for them. So I think I will be ending up putting these in the upper basket and just kind of trying to use these up. But again, really great primers. I don't think they do anything necessarily for my oil control, but I do really like the look that they give my makeup. I have a little sample of the POREfessional. I do really enjoy this. I use this strictly where I need to do pore filling. I do have a Milk makeup blur stick, and so I kind of want to use this up and get back into using my blur stick so that it doesn't like expire or go bad before I've hardly used any of it. So I do want to go ahead and just try to use this for maybe like 2 weeks straight and use it up, but it is a very, very good pore filler. I like the way it goes on. It doesn't like pill up or look weird. It does do a good job at smoothing everything out and filling your pores, and so I've been really enjoying it, but I just want to use it up. Then I have the Murad Age Reform Invisiblur. This is I talked about this in my Sephora video. So with this one, I think that this one is strictly going to be where I put this on no makeup days. So like yesterday we went out and ran some errands and I did not wear any makeup. I put on brows and I put on mascara and I put on lip gloss. But every girl needs their brows on whenever they go out. So I think that this is strictly going to be when I'm going out of the house with no makeup on whatsoever, because I didn't really like the way that my makeup went on top of this. It did pill up a little bit. I didn't think that it was all that great, but it does have SPF of 30. It has some good skincare ingredients in it, and it does smooth everything out. So I am going to be using it for no makeup days. I ended up getting the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer in Radiance, and I used this a couple times this week, and I really did enjoy it. I don't think it gives you that crazy like metallic glow underneath your makeup, but it does just give you a little bit of glow to your skin. Now I use this strictly under my makeup as a primer. I'm not going to use it as like a topper because again, I have oily skin. I don't really like liquid or cream highlighters, but it does just give you that little bit of glow to the skin, which I think is beautiful. And so I've been enjoying that. My makeup went on top of it really well. My makeup wore on it really well. And so I have been enjoying that. But again, it's a little sample size. I want to go ahead and use it up. And then is this the last primer? Yeah, the last primer that I have is the Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For. I ended up getting this in last month's BoxyCharm. I did use this on my skin today. I do really enjoy it. It goes on with a little bit more slip, but then it does go ahead and sink into your skin and turn matte. So I have been enjoying that one. I do want to just go ahead and use that tube up to really see what I feel about it. I don't know if I necessarily buy the full size of that one because I have other primers that kind of do what that one does. But again, I'm excited to have other brands to try out. So that one's going to go ahead and get used up in the next 6 months or so. All right, now on to complexion products. I do want to go ahead and use up this duo. So if you've watched one of my other like Holy Grail foundation videos, you guys would know that I love mixing the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation with the CoverGirl Vitalist Foundation. Now this is my shades in 112 and 705. I do have the 710 and then a lighter color of this already down in my drawers to be my next combo. But I'm really getting to the bottom of the Vitalist foundation. This one is kind of frustrating because I have the IKEA Alex drawers over here, and I'll have to do it. If you guys want to see my makeup organization and my makeup collection, let me know down below and I'll go ahead and film that for you guys. But my top drawer where I keep my foundations, this one has to, set like this all the time. This is a thicker foundation, and so when it does that, it doesn't want to pump out anymore. So even though, let me see, my foundation line is actually down to about here. Even though there's foundation here, it's really about down to here. It doesn't want to pump out anymore. It gets so thick down there at the bottom that it doesn't want to pump out. And so I'm storing it upright on top of my desk. And really, I'm having to unscrew the cap, kind of wave the wand around in there to get any foundation out. It just does not want to pump out anymore. So I do want to go ahead and use this one up. I saw the other day, who was it? Andrea Mattiliano. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but she had a video about like 5 beauty hacks to get the most out of your products. And she talked about this little cosmetic spatula. I actually saw them at Walmart the other day in the little section where they sell like the fake nails and the eyelashes and like the Eco Tools brushes and stuff like that. They had the little spatula. I didn't pick it up because I was like, oh, I don't need it yet. But I do want to go ahead and pick up one of those little tiny cosmetic spatulas so I can really get the most out of this foundation. I do have like extra foundation bottles that I bought off of Amazon, but I don't know if I mixed these two foundations straight off the bat, or even if I pumped this foundation into this bottle and mixed it up, I think it would change the formula and the consistency. I think I have to mix them like at that time. But this is going to be a duo that I'm going to go ahead and use up so that I can use my other ones that are in the wings waiting. And that's my perfect foundation combination. So I want to go ahead and use it up. Then I have one of my Tarte Shape Tapes. Now I do have two. This one here is in light neutral, and this is more of my skin tone shade. I do have a lighter shade that I use for highlighting my face, but if I have blemishes or areas that I don't want to highlight, then this is the shade that I end up using. You can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but I can see that I'm about down to here with this product. So I want to go ahead and just use this up. I mean, I do love me some Shape Tape. I think that this might be even a little bit too dark for me. I ended up getting matched to this in Ulta. And again, I have cooler undertones, so if I do buy another shade that is on the darker side, I'll make sure to buy a shade with cool undertones. But I do want to go ahead and go through this tube of Shape Tape. Now I have two powders. So this little sample here is the Tarte powder, and this is the Smooth Operator. When I have products that are bigger brands and they're not necessarily my favorites, I feel bad about getting rid of them. And maybe that's just like the kid that grew up poor in me, but I really don't like this powder. I think what I need to do is I just need to declutter it. I think that this is not even going to be one where I try to use it up. I mean, there's only that much powder left in here, but it never makes my skin look good. My under eyes always look dry and crepey. This just never looks good on me. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and declutter this one and pass it along. The powder that I do like that I want to try to use up is the Cover FX Loose Setting Powder. And so this is in translucent. I do have quite a bit in there. I mean, it is full up to here. But this is not something that I'm reaching for a lot. I do prefer the Laura Mercier and the Too Faced Peach Powder over this one. But I really do want to go ahead and get my use out of this one. Now that summer is coming on and I am going to be oilier, I think that this does a better job at soaking up and keeping me not so greasy. better than the other powders, but I do want to go ahead and just put this front and center and get this used up in my collection as well. Because again, this was one of my first like high-end powders that I bought, and I don't want it to go bad before I end up using it. So I'm going to put this on my desk and get some more use out of this powder. I'm not putting any eyeshadow palettes in here because I do have a lot of palettes, and it'll take me years to get through a palette. But what I do want to put in here is my Wet n Wild single in Brulee. This is the second one that I've gone through, but there's a little speck of pan in there. But I use this every single day. I use this to set down my eyelids. I use this to blend out some of my edges. This is just a wonderful powder. Love this. I will continue to repurchase this every single time I hit pan on it. So I love, love, love my Wet n Wild single in Brulee. I do have a face product though. This is my butter bronzer, and look at that big old slice of pan right there. So I do want to go ahead and use the rest of this up. I do have like 6 bronzers in my collection, and I do already have another one of these waiting as a backup. I bought that whenever Physicians Formula went on sale at Ulta, but I really do love this bronzer. I mean, it is just the perfect light shade for me. If you are, it's just a beautiful, cool toned, wonderful bronzer. If you are just getting into makeup, or if you're kind of scared of some of those more pigmented bronzers, go with a Physicians Formula bronzer. This is the regular one. They do have one lighter than this, and they do have one deeper than this. I will say that Physicians Formula did a really good job of actually putting out more skin tones for their bronzers. But I mean, I can go in with my big old fluffy brush, and I can go in that pan, and it still looks beautiful and flawless. So if you're a little bit scared of getting into bronzing, if you're a little bit scared about some of the more pigmented bronzers, go with the butter bronzer. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, I already have repurchased a backup of this one, so I just want to go through this before I pull out the new one. I have a couple brow products. I have my IT Cosmetics Brow Power Universal Brow Pencil. And really, the reason I want to go through this one is because the spoolie broke off of it, and that kind of bothers me. So I just want to go ahead and run through this one. This is more like an oval shaped tip to it. It's that universal shade that you can go lighter and get a lighter tone, or you can go darker and get a darker tone. So that's the darker tone on it right there. I do enjoy this formula. I think that it goes in the brows beautifully. I'm not going to repurchase it because it's not necessarily my favorite high-end brow pencil, but I do want to go ahead and run through it so I can get rid of the packaging, because the broken spoolie just bothers the crap out of me. But that's the Virgo side of me. The other brow pencil is going to be my NYX Precision Brow Pencil. I love this one. I actually used this in my brows today. My brows are a little bit dark today because I didn't highlight them. And also the reason I'm trying to run through this NYX pencil is because I did get it in taupe. Did I get you in taupe? Yes, I got this shade in taupe. I probably need to go with the blonde shade. And so I'm going to go ahead and run through this pencil, and I think I only have a tiny bit of this left. I mean, yeah, that's all I have left of this pencil. And so this will get used up in the next probably month or so, and then I'll go ahead and I'll pick up the blonde shade of this pencil. I do really enjoy this spoolie. This is a really, really good product. If you're looking for a drugstore priced eye pencil, really look into the NYX ones. Wait for them to go on sale, because I believe this pencil is $10 normally. Next, I have my Anastasia Dip Brow in Blonde. I have that much left. So I put this down for a while because I didn't want to run through it, but now I need to realize that I just need to go through it. I need to use it up before it goes bad, and then I know I'll be repurchasing this because I haven't really run into any drugstore brow pomades that live up to this one. So I have been trying out the Makeup Revolution one some more. I did a review on that one and I did not like it, but I've been trying it some more. It still doesn't live up to the Anastasia one, so I'm gonna go through that and then repurchase. Then I have 3 mascaras. One of them is the Lash Discovery. This is Maybelline Lash Discovery. I ended up getting it in waterproof, which I don't know if I meant to get it in waterproof or not, but this is a very tiny spoolied mascara, and I use this on my lower lashes. Now, I already have repurchased this product, but in the non-waterproof version for my lower lashes. I just feel like this is drying out a little bit. I think I've had it more than 6 months. I know I'm naughty with my mascaras, but this is going to be used up probably in the next couple weeks. It is, like I said, it's drying out a little bit, so I've already repurchased the non-waterproof version of this for my lower lashes. The other 2 mascaras are the Tarte Tartist mascara, which I really, really love. The dogs are trying to get in. I really do love this formula. It has a huge rubber bristled wand, and I feel like there's not a whole lot of product left in here, but I ended up getting this in a BoxyCharm. This does not transfer onto my oily lids. This goes on beautifully. It builds volume, it builds length. This is wonderful. I have a lot of mascaras to run through. I would repurchase this if I didn't have a million mascaras in waiting, but this is just a wonderful mascara. If you have trouble with mascara transferring because you have oily eyelids or whatever the issue is with your with your mascara transferring, try that out. It is wonderful. And then the other mascara that I want to run through is my IT Cosmetics Superhero. And I want to run through this one basically because it's getting on the older side and I don't want to waste a high-end mascara. If a Lash Paradise, you know, dried out and went bad in 3 months, I wouldn't feel bad because I probably got it on sale for like $4 or $5. But when you're paying 20-something for a mascara, you really want to get your money's worth. Now, my opinion on this one has changed a little bit. I ended up getting a mini size of this one and I used it and I loved it, and so I went ahead and I bought the full size. But now that I don't know if the minis are a different formula or what the difference is. I've heard a little bit about mascara minis and kind of that they're not quite the same. So with this one, it transfers onto my lids. The mini did not. And so I don't know what the difference is, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run through this one. I really do enjoy the formula. It makes my lashes look beautiful, but again, it transfers, and so I'm going to use it up and probably not repurchase this one. So those are all the items that I want to use up in the next 6 months. I might do some updates for you guys, letting you know kind of where I am with things. I will review products as I go through them too, just to let you know what I think about them. But if you like this style of video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below of what are some of the items that you run through all the time. What are you trying to use up right now? I love foundations, so leave me your foundation recommendations. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.